looks like Tom Holland won't be going anywhere, as reports came in this week that he has re-signed to play Spider-Man at least one more time. Although with a movie deal like this, or with Spider-Man, I doubt it's just one. It's probably multiple. But for now, at least one. Which is good. I mean, I guess I've never been a big Spider-Man movie guy, but I know you've seen them all. Where's Tom Holland rank for you in the Spider-Man pantheon in modern Spider-Man? Because we've had a few.
Yeah, that's a tough one. That's a tough one.
So he doesn't sound like he's number one.
I don't think so, man.
Whoa.
I don't think so.
That's the spiciest take of the day right there.
I don't think it's that spicy, man. I think Tobey Maguire is pretty iconic. And I also think Andrew Garfield, the best actor out of all three of them.
I can see that.
But substantially.
Yeah.
And I think Andrew Andrew Garfield. I think if Andrew Garfield was given the same material that Tom Holland was given,
that's like the dream.
Easily number one. Easily. I just think Andrew Garfield got the shitty end of the stick. I think if Andrew Garfield came back as like the Spider-Man, I think it would be celebrated. I do like Tom Holland. I like him a great deal. I think Tom Holland is a great.
He's a really good all-around talent, right? I mean, the dude can dance. He can do he's like he'll probably do Broadway later in life or some shit kind of a deal.
Yeah, I think Tom Holland is a really good Spider-Man. I'm not totally sold on the Peter Parker part.
What if we did this? Who's the best Spidey? Who's the best Peter? Does that change things up?
The best Peter. Oof. I think the best Peter Parker is Tobey Maguire. And I think the best Spider-Man. Oh man, it's hard. I want to say Tom Holland because I think he's just the most naturally gifted in terms of like the things that you just said from an action standpoint. I also like Tom Holland's energy. Like I like his voice as Spider-Man, but also Tom Holland is just so fresh on my mind as Spider-Man. So, but there's just something about Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man that's just for me, and it's because it's what I grew up with. And there's just something about Tobey Maguire that was very
well, he's definitely the right kind of like awkward for playing Peter, right? Like he's definitely of the three guys, he's the least suave. He's not. You look at him, and this is no slight to the guy. There is not a single ounce of suave that comes off of Tobey Maguire, and like that's why like in the movies like the dancing meme and all that shit came out of that shit because he's. Yeah. But it's perfect for a Peter Parker in the comic book sense in that regard, where he's kind of like the awkward guy. But as the Spider-Man, man.
I actually think Tom Holland's the worst Spider-Man.
Oh! Or is he the worst, or is he just that he's the mid for Peter and Spidey, where the other two are the best of the others?
I think Tobey did better, and I think Andrew Garfield did better. I think Tom Holland has gotten so much help from the big MCU and all the big stars around him.
That's fair.
And I also think, Zendaya is a big part of the Spider-Man success as well. I think if you just take Tom Holland as just a Spider-Man with no major huge time co-stars and Avengers and all this other stuff, I think he's the worst. But with that being said, I still really like Tom Holland. I think they all do a good job. If you put me on the spot, I don't think he's it, man. I don't think he's the one.
Speaking of the Avengers, then when it comes to Spider-Man, the Spidey in the Avengers is canonically like the super young, barely started Spider-Man, right? Like that.
Yes.
So what age of Spider-Man did Garfield play when he was doing the films? Would he have been able to pull off, for example, the I don't feel so good Mr. Stark, as well as a Tom Holland?
Yeah, I think I mean, Tom Holland did a really good job at in that scene. Like, Tom Holland's good, man. He's good, and he can act. Like, Tom Holland's a better actor than Tobey Maguire, for sure.
Yeah.
But Andrew Garfield, like, trumps them both, for sure. He's a way better dramatic actor. I just think Tom Holland. I don't know. Maybe I just don't resonate with this version of Tom Holland, of Spider-Man as much as the other two. The other two were a bit more mature. But I will say, in the last Spider-Man movie, Tom Holland did a bang-up job at acting. But man, Andrew Garfield stole the fucking show. Like, even in the dramatic scenes that Tom Holland has, and Andrew Garfield is there. I mean, shit, even Tobey Maguire acted really well in this movie. They all did a good job. But Andrew Garfield, dude, that guy came in and he basically said, I got fucked on my Spider-Man run, so I'm coming back and I'm going to make it whole, and I'm just going to outperform everybody. And I think that's what he did, man. I think he stole the show.
So here's a weird comparison for you, just for fun. So and I only say this because when you first started framing this, you were talking about how if Toby or Garfield got the same treatment for the script, the writing, the star power, all that stuff, if that had come together for him in the same way, maybe it would have been different. Maybe they would have been able to do an even better job. If you had to say which of the three, or which of those two, Maguire or Garfield, who is the Pierce Brosnan in this situation, where everyone always points at like Pierce Brosnan's 007 portrayal in the 90s, and look at the writing in those movies in the 90s, and then say, well, if you took Pierce Brosnan and gave it the treatment that the modern guys got, or fucking specifically Daniel Craig, are we having the same conversation?
Garfield.
It's Garfield
for sure. Garfield got fucked. That whole Amazing Spider-Man thing, he just got fucked on. The scripts weren't that good. The villains were pretty bad. It was just a weird time.
Was he just one? Was he just one film, Garfield? Two. Okay.
The Tobey Maguire. Here's the thing. I think Tom Holland does a better job than Tobey Maguire with the current MCU. So if you took Tobey Maguire and put him in place of Tom Holland does a better job.
Okay.
He does a better job. I think he does a better job at connecting with the audience in terms of like this generation. I think he does a better job with the action. I think he does a better job with the collaborative work and kind of being a side character amongst the Avengers and stuff. There's just an innocence to Tom Holland that Tobey Maguire couldn't do. But I believe if Andrew Garfield was put in the same position as Tom Holland, that Andrew Garfield would be an even more celebrated Spider-Man than Tom Holland.
But could he have done as good a job doing Rihanna's Umbrella?
No. No. Tom Holland is a hell of a dancer and an entertainer for sure.
That show peaked when Tom Holland came out and did Umbrella. There was no more up. That shit that buried that show. They should never have shown it. That should have been the finale of the entire show. As soon as that came up.
Yeah, I'm gonna change. The more I talk about it, I'm gonna change my answer. I think. Oh
Andrew my
Garfield,
God! Okay.
I think Andrew Garfield might actually be the best Spider-Man ever. And I double down on that after seeing what he's done in the latest movie. I actually think Garfield is a superior Spider-Man and Peter Parker than both of them. But they all do a phenomenal job. I think Tobey Maguire's campiness of like the early 2000s, I think that worked. I think Andrew Garfield worked, but the scripts and the studio didn't know it was. And then the Tom Holland stuff just works because like they just knew what was going on. But you put Andrew Garfield where Tom Holland is, I think they're even better.
I wish I could say more about it from my side. All I can say is that I do think that Garfield is the superior actor. That's about all I can say about it. Well, the obvious, so I think Garfield's the better actor overall. I don't think he crushes Tom Holland acting, but I think he is better overall. And then, obviously, Tom Holland is the better...
I think he's significant better.
Really? Do you think he's significantly better?
I think he's on a whole nother level.
Do you think some of that's actually just like age difference and experience? Do you think Holland's got it in him, or do you think he's going to be forever just like the boyish guy
I think Tom Holland is a fine actor. He's totally fine. Just I've watched the vast majority of Andrew Garfield's work, and I'm telling you, he is on a whole, like, if there is like, Tom Holland is Leonardo DiCaprio level of an actor.
Okay.
He's like
I mean, that's high up there. That shit's fucking high up there.
He's that good.
Okay.
He's that fucking good. Tom Holland is like the level of like, oh man.
Fuck you. I mean, you just pegged Leo, so now where do you go from there?
Tom Holland is kind of like the level of, oh shit.
You might have painted yourself in a corner on that one.
I'm gonna have to think about it. Ooh. I'm trying to think. I'll think about it. But Andrew Garfield, you could put him in a Martin Scorsese film, and he's gonna do just fine. You put Tom Holland in there, he's gonna feel out of place.
Okay, I see what you mean.
Like, Andrew Garfield's an actor's actor.
All right,
like,
okay, I get you.
He's an actor. Like, Tom Holland is now like a Hollywood kind of...
So you know what I would say? You know, I would say Garfield is Leo, and I would say Holland is Damon. Matt Damon, in terms of levels.
Whoa. Matt Damon?
Because I put Damon just... like, for the reasons you're stating, I think if you put Matt Damon in a Scorsese, he can make it work, but he's not necessarily that guy. Whereas if you put Leo in a Scorsese, clearly Leo is going to be that guy. And Damon's a fucking phenomenal writer and producer and all that shit, but I put him just a fucking cock hair below Leo. If that's if you're talking about an actor's actor, and not just an overall talent. Like, if I had to pick a guy to do production or writing, I'm choosing Matt Damon over Leo. But if I need an actor's actor, I'm going in that age range anyway. I'm going Leo.
Yeah, I'm not gonna argue with that opinion. I think it's a fair one. But yeah. Anyway, Andrew Garfield. Come back to Spider-Man, and all will be like all will be well.
Do you think there's a chance that they actually would bring him back? Yeah,
100%. Yes.
Okay.
Especially with the multiverses and all these different Spider-Man. I actually think that if Tom Holland only does one more Spider-Man movie,
Garfield's next up.
I actually think Andrew Garfield might come back. Like, I think that he might actually, and he would do it. But it would suck to see Tom Holland go. I like Tom Holland as Spider-Man, so bring them all back. Bring the last Spider-Man movie was amazing. Like, bring them all back.
Do you think that before Tom Holland hangs up the suit that they'll bring him out to do to try and do a mature Spider-Man with Tom Holland, or do you think they'll forever kind of try and keep him in that babyface pocket? You know what I mean?
No, I think in the last Spider-Man movie we started to see it.
They're starting to build into that.
The more mature Spider-Man. So I think the next movie that we get, it isn't going to be this like wide-eyed Spider-Man, like, oh, whoa, oh, you know. I think he's seasoned now. There's been death. There's been, he's just been through it. So, I do like the arc of this current Spider-Man. I think, yeah. Anyway, enough of Spider-Man.
There you go.